Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Retro Rank Rhapsody. This episode, Playing God. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at a SNES launch title by the name of ActRaiser. It is a very interesting game put out by Enix, one of the games that they put out before they ended up getting merged with Square. It's a very interesting game because it combines two completely different playstyles and a really interesting religious theme to kind of create an experience that not many other games can really do. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and start. Okay, so ActRaiser. Yeah, SNES launch title, put up by Enix. Enix wasn't the only developer on this. They kind of went to... In fact, Enix did a whole lot... They were more of a publisher rather than a developer. The developer for this game was a company by the name of Quintet. Quintet is a company that was founded by... Actually, I had his name real quick. But it is one of the guys who was I believe he was the director of the original Ys. His name is Masaya Hashimoto. Founded Quintet with, I believe, a couple other Falcom people. But yeah, this game does not have really anything to do with Ys at all. But that's just a little bit of trivia. In fact, really, this game is kind of really unique, as I said in the intro. So why don't we just go ahead and start? So let me just do this and this. Also, you're seeing Aeon Genesis Presents here because we're actually going to be playing a translation of the original Japanese release. Because there are actually some interesting differences between the Japanese release and the release that came out here. Japanese release was December 16th, 1990, which I believe... so it wasn't quite a launch title, but it was pretty close. Might have actually been launched for North America. It's November 91. But yes. We're going to go ahead and start a new game. And... yeah. So we're going to be playing as God. The Japanese version is a lot more explicit about it. In the North American release, he was just referred to as the Master. In fact, that's a naming that kind of would stick over to another Quintet game in North America called Soul Blazer. But those are kind of different games. But yes, we're going to pick our name. Also, just to fulfill a stupid joke.
Yes!
Not that one.
Damn.
Name herself Almighty.
That works too, I guess.
Yes.
So you got my hopes up.
So yes, this is our angel. He is going to basically be an avatar that we're going to use in certain segments, because not all the segments. Because yeah, this game is kind of broken up into two completely different gameplay styles. So we'll see that once we get in. Yes, and our main enemy, as you can probably expect if we are God, the Dark Lord Satan is our enemy. In the North American release, he is just referred to as Tanzra. And yes, we need to build up the faith and worship of our people. So here's kind of essentially what can kind of give a little bit of an analog to say something like Zelda 2. We are in heaven right now, and we can move our little cloud. There are six kind of areas that we can go to. However, a lot of them are blocked by what your level are, or what your level is. Right now, the only place you can go to is Fillmore. And right now, there's only one thing we can do. Well, actually, there's a couple things we can do, but a lot of them will do result in progress. First thing I kind of want to do is this. Increase that text speed. Make it instant. I'll see you in safe. Also, that's a really good sound. Okay, so first thing we can do, or the only thing we can do right now, is fight monsters. This is kind of the gameplay segment that this game's kind of more known for. Go ahead and start. Also this.
Lolo, I don't know if you touched on it or wanted to touch on it, but I just wanted to go ahead and say that Aeon Genesis, this is one of their first things. They're also well known for doing the Lama Lana series as well as Cave Story.
Yep. They're really good. They're like one of the best fan translation groups. if you're familiar with the North American release, you might notice some differences right off the bat. The Japanese release is a lot harder than the North American one.
In fact, if you want to do the actual thing, you can do professional mode.
Yeah, and even that is a little bit... I would say, I think professional mode is basically... It's the same map. There's a lot of map changes in the Japanese release. Oh, god damn it, also that. Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty standard kind of hack and slash kind of thing, but yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Also, I should go ahead and say, soundtrack for this game is phenomenal. Mainly because it was composed by Yuzo Koshiro. In fact, that is actually, so I said that in the intro that the main company that worked on this was Quintet. They aren't credited. I think they're credited in the North American release, but they were helped by the company Ancient, which is a company that is owned by basically the Koshiro family. And Yuzo's sister, Ayano, provided character designs for this.
Yep, they are credited.
Ancient also they have a really weird gameography because they worked on the Sega Master System version of Sonic 1. They also worked on the Culp Set series of cardboard games. Also, going back to the whole theming of this, the main As You Are God, basically all the enemies in all the stages in this game are kind of based on various mythologies. And so Fillmore basically is Greek mythology. The score that you get at the end of the round is actually somewhat important because that will incorporate into this segment because as you could kind of expect, when you finish your actions phase, you are now into the city building phase. And the game now becomes a city builder. A very basic city builder, but a city builder nonetheless. So yes, we have to listen to the people. And yeah, since you are God, you kind of have to do things that the people of the Fillmore can't, or the towns. We can use our lightning to destroy trees. In fact, we have various other kinds of magic as well. Thunder or lightning strike is pretty much going to be the main one we use here. And also, if you caught that, yes, lightning can destroy houses, and there is actually a use for that. First off, that we want to do is we do kind of have to guide them in a certain direction in order to build. They won't just build on their own. You see those blue circles? Those are monster layers. They can't do anything, the town can't do anything about them now, but at some point they will be able to destroy the monsters within. Because right now, those things are just going to spawn, technically not endless, but realistically endless monsters that can do various things to your town, which are not great. They can't kill you, but as you can see, you kind of have life. If your life goes down to 0, what basically happens is you can't do anything. You can't destroy the monsters, which really is more of a nuisance than anything.
Basically, just use the weather to affect the migration of your people and help them out or hurt them.
Yes. Also, so your various magics cost SP, but you can get that SP back by destroying monsters. And also, you can hit the wrong button in order to cancel out stuff. That's... yes. So I mentioned that the Japanese release of this game is more harder. There is one exception to that. The city building and your level is actually a lot. Because you gain levels if you see in the top left, you see we have 2. That is our total world population. As that goes up, your level will go up. the kind of the curve, the EXP curve for getting various levels, is a lot more gradual in the Japanese release compared to the North American release. In fact, in order to get the max level in the North American release, you got to really exploit some of the mechanics behind the city building mechanic, and the fact that there's only a certain limit of structures that can be on screen at the same or on the map at one time. So yeah.
You can build your city quote unquote perfect and still never reach max level due to that restraint.
And see, now that they can destroy enemy layers, once it progresses, they should be able to actually destroy that monster layer. So yeah, civilization level. Every map can have, or every town, or I guess region, I guess, has a maximum civilization level of 3. Currently we are at 2. Your civilization level, there is kind of a really... also, this is what happened, or that... If I were to leave that blue demon alive, he would destroy that house and just basically make it so that the population would go down temporarily. Because they'll just rebuild over that house.
Yeah, each of the enemies has their own ability that they use to disrupt your thing. Here, you just have crows and blue demons.
Actually, I wonder, can you do the... what is it? Is it select? Or I have to wait for that thing to go away? Feeling very strange. Visions of mine frequently turn out to come true in the future. So you got a little Cassandra thing going on here. Power in the Eastern Forest. So certain in every region, there's sometimes you have to do things in the map in order to get progress to happen. Here, he's saying in the Eastern Forest, there's a rock here that we can destroy. Although I think this actually... actually I take that back. So there are secrets that you can find in certain regions. What they actually found was a magic spell. The magic spell doesn't help us now, but once we go into the next action phase, it will actually help us out. Because you don't start with any magic spells, but you have to find them. There are 4 total, and the thing about them is, there really is only 2 that are actually good. And 1 completely overclasses the other. Okay. Also, as you destroy monster layers, sometimes they get offerings. So we have... So there's the fire magic that they found. So Shining Sphere, which I want to say they just called Bomb in the North American release, but yeah. What it'll do is it'll destroy all enemies that are on screen right now.
In the North American release, it was a little angel statuette.
Naturally, I think... Okay, what's the button? Is it... There it is. Okay, Blue Dragons. Called, and... Did I... Is there still one left? Yes, Necrobats. They're technically called. But yeah, basically crows, devils, or blue devils, and eventually... Red devils and skulls are the monsters that you'll find here. Also... need to clear out some of this. Also, another difference is that the cost of each spell is different. I believe, because I think the Earthquake. Yeah, you only need 60 in this release. In the North American release, I want to say it's like 120 that you need it. But you don't really have
correct.
it. There is one very specific use for it, but you don't need it like for progress for quite some time.
By the time you have it, you can do it right away and it doesn't hurt.
Broken out. Well, let's see, how much do I need? 16. Okay. Oop.
Time to send the flood.
Well, there's one problem though, is that that oh. There we go. Also, as I want to say, there's also something that has to do with the amount of enemies that you leave alive by the time that you do the next action phase. I believe has something to do with how much what your max score can be in the action phase. Get them to build a little bit more. Oh, can't undo there. Okay, now that we have 66 or 96 people, with each level, it doesn't like increase your attack at all, but it does increase the amount of MP that you have as well as your max life. Now we have 45. Now actually clear out some of this and actually get some progress. Yeah, these segments have are at least from people that I know that have played this game, seem to be a little bit decisive on whether or not they actually add any benefit. Especially since it kind of starts out really slow.
I mean, it's ambitious.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily
Oh!
bad. It's just kind of...
I'm down. Also, you can see the civilization level from the increase. You see these little huts here? Those are level 1 structures. The cabins are level 3 structures. Oh. Well, there went a blue dragon. As you can see from that scorch mark right there, that's what they do. There's that. So we have kind of a little bit of an issue. The fact that these people don't know how to build bridges. But a mysterious bow and arrow. So developed a wonderful new technology. We can now build bridges.
Speaking of bridges...
So we could just go destroy that. Well, actually, I might as well just go and destroy that monster lair. Also, if I take that technology, take the offering. Oh, no, I want to use it. Oh, yes, I've changed my mind. Angel Power. I think they have the ability to build bridges just innately. The thing is that bridge technology you can actually give to other towns.
Those filthy, underdeveloped towns.
Oop. Okay. The bow and arrow basically makes it so that any enemy can die in one hit, except I think skulls still require 2. I'd say I'm more of a fan of the side-scrolling segments, but I am of the opinion that the city building gives it a little bit of flavor. Because I think I brought this up during Sweet Home, but none of the 2 sections of this game are really all that in depth. The thing is, as they are, it's the kind of the melding together that kind of makes this a more unique experience. Because this game did get a sequel that basically took the city building completely out and made it the side-scrolling segments more detailed and gave it kind of its own flavor. The problem is that didn't quite work out the best. Because also one thing that they made or changed with it is the difficulty and made it extremely hard.
Yeah.
So hard that Google couldn't speak.
Yep.
Hold on.
Literally speechless. And me personally, I'm not much for Sims, even though I'm weird. I love Sim games. I love them. I love like coaster park type stuff, like Sim Theme Park and Planet Coaster. But I am miserably incompetent at them. So like, I love them, but I don't like them.
Well, especially the ones that are like, okay, you're managing this city. You're not like, because the theme park ones, it's like you're like building like fun little attraction stuff. Whereas in this, you're just built like SimCity. You're actually having to manage a town. Fisherman found a scroll. The scrolls are also basically... So, one mechanic that I'm not a huge fan of in this game. So this is a source of magic that we found. It's one of these mini secret items. Yeah, it's one of the mini items that you can find. The thing is that... oh, you have to also use it. You get an extra MP. We'll get to when we get into the next action phase, we'll see what exactly that means. But there is kind of a really dickish way that this game handles MP. Or I should say how many times you can cast spells. Okay. Civilization's gone up, so it's level 3, it's the max. Also, whenever you defeat the last monster layer, basically something will happen that will trigger your need to go into the next area. So yes, in my dream, Minotauros come out of a large hole to the southeast and kill all the people with a curse. So basically, Minotauros, or this guy is basically, his dreams about Minotauros are slowly killing him. The thing is, at least here, it gives us free reign to actually, like, if we have not gotten to an area of town, we can actually build our town. So in fact, I'm actually going to speed this up, because there is now no threat. Maybe? So yeah, now that we are civilization level 3, they will now build these very dense buildings that a lot of people can live in. This has a very, let's just say, unfortunate side effect. The fact that the game, since your level is determined by population, it basically means you want to have as many level 3 civilization buildings as you can. Which has basically in order to get the max level, you have to do some fun stuff. namely intentionally destroying buildings. Because when you destroy a building, it will always be rebuilt as the highest level civilization. So in order to get the max level in this game, or to get it so that, yeah, as max level as you can, basically kill anyone who is not civilization level 3.
Sounds about right.
So the thing with building the bridges is that in the North American release, when you have to really focus on like your populate or like your you have to be really strict with how many buildings get placed. Bridges themselves count as a building, so you kind of want to have to build your town out in the most efficient way possible, with as few bridges as you possibly can. Also, at this point, right now, we'll eventually we'll get to the point where nothing gets built. Okay, there we go. And once that happens, we're pretty much stuck to go to the next phase. Okay, I think that should be it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, now that that's happened, gotta go back to heaven. Also, we want to choose our magic. I think in the North American release, every spell costs 1 MP. I want to say in the Japanese release, some spells have different costs. Also, just to make sure. Okay, so every area has 2 acts. Also in the North American release, there's a different music track in this stage. In Japanese release, they just use the same song as the Act 1. Which means in the North American release, the only time you hear also those spikes are to death. The only time you hear this music is in the very first stage. Which also, the funny thing about this music is that this is kind of the only song in this game, really, that actually sounds a lot like Yuzo Koshiro's other work. Because this game actually does something really well, especially since the Super Nintendo sound chip kind of affords it a little bit more. But it has a really good sense of like an orchestralness. Since the SNES really relies on sampling and all that. Okay.
I just can't stand the way that it idle holds the sword. I don't know why, but it just bugs me.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just a small thing. Otherwise, the sprites are really cool.
Also, it took me a while to understand, or try and figure... Also, this guy's a massive dick. Yeah, especially because in certain difficulties, he does, like, multiple damage per hit. Or multiple pips. Also, this segment is... It's really weird, since I'm so used to the North American release. Because, like, it's a song that we're going to hear 2 stages from now. And it's a lot more, like, Indiana Jones cave-ish. And, like, a lot more slower pace. So I'm so used to, like, having this segment be, like, this kind of trod. But with this music, it just seems more energetic. Which, I really like this track. But the thing with it is that it sounds like it's from a completely different game once you hear the rest of the music in this game. Especially the action stage music. Also Minotaurs.
It's very Castlevania the more I listen to it.
Yes. Oh. Okay. Also, the thing with some of these bosses is that they are very, depending upon how much health you have, they're very more of attrition-y. Because you can just hit them so often, whereas also... What's the... Oh, it's Castlevania's sub-weapon. Also gives you iframes. So the thing with your MP... MP use does not go between lives. So if you use all your MP on one life, and when you respawn, you will not have any MP. So you really want to make sure that it's being used proper, like it's being, you want to kind of conserve it until you know that you're going to beat the boss.
And it refills between stages?
Acts. Yeah, it'll go between acts. Also, since Minotauros has been killed, basically the guy ended up dying. So yeah. Right now, let's see. Oh, good, another scroll. So, we're pretty much done with ActRaiser, or not ActRaiser, Fillmore right now. So we can now move on to the next stage. Oh, didn't mean to use it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so, let's move heaven. Next stage. Wonderful. Okay, and then, yeah, there's that. Okay, so... also, you can, if you go into the cities, eventually you will see that it is slowed down. Basically what that means is that at its current state, you can't improve it until you destroy buildings, or like, it's not the max that it can be, but with the way that it is now, it could probably use, or it needs buildings to be destroyed in order to kind of progress. But yeah, let's go ahead and just go into Blood Bowl. Also, one of my favorite tracks in the game.
Okay, that powerful trumpet, though.
Oh. Oh. Also, there are a lot of places just fall in this stage, which kind of sucks.
Oh my god, a trombone.
Yeah, the sampling in this is really good. Well, they made good use of the SNES sound channel.
Yeah, they're having fun with the instruments.
Which is also funny, considering that this is like... Yuzo Koshiro is not really an orchestral guy. But yeah, he actually pulled it off really well in this.
I mean, it's weird you say that, given that entire, like, organ piece from that previous set. I know that's not necessarily orchestral, but it was very grand, you know, like...
Well, this soundtrack, in particular, normally his soundtracks are they're more dancey than this. But he did a really good job with this. Considering it's almost
more
like
in a house or a techno kind of way?
Yes. Are you familiar with like Streets of Rage?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who composed Streets of Rage.
Ah, right.
Also, this boss fight sucks.
No, see, boss fights with bottomless pits, really good.
Although the pit isn't even the worst part. The sky is huge is the worst part. Oh.
Good thing that sword doesn't have a hitbox when it's like...
Oh, nope. Okay, you really do not want to jump. Also, you really don't want to be on top of him either.
Basically, you don't want to be anywhere near him.
There we go. Alright.
Try to be...
Yeah, I will not shy away from the fact that this game is not perhaps the smoothest action game. But yes, Bloodpool. There is a different kind of obstacle in this one. It is very marshy.
Is there an old man there?
No. You can, however, use the sun to dry up the swamps. I don't know if that's how actually that works, but that's how it's going to work here. Let's get this lightning. Oh, also use bridge, so they can now build bridges. Alright, let's just go ahead and get rid of this one right here. Okay, so we have some napper bats. Blue dragons. And also, red dragon. Red dragons are they're the third most powerful monster, but they're actually I would say the least of an issue, because their power basically just destroys crops. And he lives right here. Oh, actually, those are red devils. Those are just actual demons. Also, it's kind of in an island on its own, so we gotta figure out some other way of handling them. Teddy. Basically, they're having some parenting problems. Nope, 18. Oop, damn it. Yeah, also your health really regenerates a lot quicker in this version than the North American release. I guess, maybe? Oh. I guess they need to build out more population. Okay, let's go ahead and try and get these bats out of the way. Plus, you kind of really want to kill those, or the red devils from below, because they, every time you hit them, they kind of go upwards. So there's horses? I wish this segment was a little bit snappier. Oh. Oh. Okay, they should be destroying the bats now. Well, if not now, hopefully shortly. Oh, they stopped right. Also, if you're going through, if you're sending them through through locations they have already been, they don't require the hourglass to fill up before moving to the next square. Okay, civilization level is going up. Okay. Also might as well just completely get rid of the swampland. Okay, let's see. Ah, rice. Yeah, so now, can I take some at the moment? So now when you get rice, what you can do, use it on a crap field, it'll become rice. I think this increases the amount of the max population. Oddly enough, also, one change that they made in the North American release was to refer to it as wheat instead of rice, even though you can definitely tell that that is a rice field, not a wheat field.
Same thing.
Oh, like... Yeah, that's what they do. Oh, no, I don't want to send the ring. Okay, level 5. Also, you can send the rain, though, to reinvigorate the crops. Oh, we're already at level 3. Oh, and also, when you go to that area here and clear out this monster lair, they now have a bridge to Fillmore. And they have taught them how to build rice. Or build rice fields, I guess. Although I don't think that's a thing you can actually do. Let's see, what's up? Oh no, Teddy has run away. Okay. And now... they gave us some bread that we can give to their son. Who, oddly enough, is over here. Oh, we gave him the bread and now he is homesick. Ah, there's a monster lair is actually called is the reason why it's blood pool. After this bleached skull. Skull of Destruction. Oh, we need at the moment. Go. There we go. Here's scripture. Oh. There we go. There, before I actually destroy the last area, I am going to try and get the town a little bit, because I think... Can't remember if it's until I beat or start the next act or just beat it. But there is a reason why you kind of want to wait to destroy the last monster lair.
Yeah, I think if memory serves me right, the town tends to get ennui.
Yes. I just can't remember if it's before the act starts or after.
I'd say go ahead and let's go to the second, or
Yeah.
2-2.
Yeah, especially since... although there is... I think I've destroyed it first. Uh-oh. They did not like that. And of course, Teddy got picked. Oh, and also... It's no longer Blood Pool. I mean, it's still Blood Pool, but it's not... They lost their namesake. Ah, yes, they have found one of our magic spells.
Lolo, if you remember when we were kids, we tried to make it rain on the Delta, and that did not work.
I think there is a certain segment that you have to do, but Shooting Star Magic. This is basically the best spell in the game.
If you hit with it.
That is, yes, if you hit with it.
It's the most RNG heavy. It's...
Ah, yes.
Yep.
Use an item. Or, no, take an item. Source of Life. The Source of Life is probably exactly what you'd expect it to be. You now have an extra life.
It's an extra guy.
Also, are they stopped
Up.
at the moment? Nothing
Yeah.
normal. Okay, so we can build it out.
Just afraid of the sacrifice.
Yeah, because there are certain events that basically they'll just straight up stop. But this is not one of those events.
I'm trying to think about the wonders of the world for the various upcoming civilizations are, and I can't remember any of them being here. I know the ennui one comes up, but I don't think that stops you from...
There is definitely one in the next area. Definitely has one at the end that does not get resolved for a while, too.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm just thinking of the card that I gave you of this game, of the NA version.
Let's see, is that the last square? Oh, I can cut through, but I think this is the last building square.
Oh, you gotta make sure that you hit all the crossroads.
I don't think that factors in the... Well, actually, maybe it does.
It takes 0 seconds because they build it instantly anyways, so...
I think this is the last one. Go. Nope, that's it.
I think that's about as far as you...
Yep. Okay. Back to heaven. Okay, so... Here's magic. Yeah, this one takes 2 MP to cast. So fire might actually be better in this one. Actually, now that I think about it, I think fire would be better in this one.
It's a wizard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Bloodpool Act 2. Also, Bloodpool, I'm guessing, would be Germanic mythology?
Oh, is this the one starring Brian Reynolds?
No.
No, you're
Oh.
thinking of the other one.
That's Pool Blood.
Speaking of which, watch Deadpool 2 on a plane. Not bad.
Literally, as the plane flew by, it was projected on.
Oh, also sometimes you can find scrolls as power-ups, which is nice.
For you 30-somethings that are watching this, like myself, you might recognize this level as one of the challenges on Nick Arcade. They love to use it.
Yeah, it's weird, because they had this on a lot on Nick Arcade.
Nick Arcade was more of a blur to me.
As a 32-year-old guy who kind of grew up in that Devo, yeah, it was weird.
Just...
They had this game, and they had Ernest Evans, and a
I
bunch
don't
of
remember
weird...
Ernest Evans. I think El Viento was the one that they had on...
Or yeah, it was El Viento, not Ernest Evans. It was...
Yeah, I would definitely remember Ernest Evans being on there.
As a man who is 1 year older than you,
Okay, fair enough.
I absolutely do not remember any of the games that they played on Nick.
Speaking of which, check out VRV. They have the entire catalog to watch.
Oh god, do they?
Yeah, they have Global Guts and Legend
Oh,
of
they
the
just picked up
Temple.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to rewatch all of Legend of the Temple. That was a classic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Except
El Viento is the wind. It is a game that... I don't know why they called it El Viento, but that's what they called it. I mean, there's story reasons why, but... Yeah.
They had El Viento, and surprisingly enough, as one of Lolo's favorite games, Gunac was on there all the time.
Yeah, Gunac was great. Because I was like, I think that was actually where I found it, and also what made me want to get the cart of it, which has been really good to own now.
I think that we bought that cart from a...
Didn't you get it from a school flea market?
I got it from one of those... You know how we had the mom and pop rental stores? I think I
Yeah.
bought it from them.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think it was. It wasn't a Beavers.
It wasn't No, it wasn't Beavers. It was the same one that I bought, funnily enough, American Gladiators from.
Perfect.
It was one that is in the town that you live in, and it is the one that was out kind of on Lime Kiln.
I don't.
You know, Anonymous Place USA.
I mean that I have that in my Twitter bio. Yes, I don't think it was Crown Video, or was it? Because I don't think. Because I think
No. It wasn't any of those. It was out in
it wasn't Cable Video.
No, it was one that you probably don't even remember, and To put it into perspective, it was near where the shop where I bought my bow from was. It's if anything, it was near where the butcher that we grew up eating the from was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't remember. You were 5 years old.
Also, yeah. So here is this boss. It's one of these. You need to be in certain locations. And if he's up either 2 or above, he will do the lightning attack at the end, which kind of annoying.
It's the opposite of Aghanim, where you can't force the lightning. If anything, I will say, you were talking about how the fire magic is inferior to the star magic. One thing that the fire magic has is it does have great iframes.
Yeah, well, the star one definitely has it as well.
Yeah, but it's cost 2 scrolls.
Yeah, at least in this one. In the North American release where it costs 1, it's a lot better. Also, now that we've lowered its health, it becomes the Zeppelin Wolf.
Lycanthrope? No way.
Yeah, that's one that you kind of have to attrition. Or it's really easy to attrition.
I wonder how many drops of blood are in this blood pool.
Blood. So yes. Oh, we got another scroll. Go to others to make them as peaceful as the land of Bloodpool. Yup.
Yup, there comes the...
Yep.
It's not... Oh, that's right, it's not on Wii that they have. It's that they want to fight.
Yeah, they're angry.
I knew what the answer was, but I couldn't remember what the question was.
So yeah, now that they're angry, they are stopped. We cannot progress the town at all. But we can take their offerings, which I think is just 2 rice. Nope, source magic. Take the rice. Because now we should be able to go next door.
Cassandra.
Not quite yet.
Oh, you're here.
Gonna give them the rice.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, there's people. Okay. Oh. Okay. They already did that.
Oh, that was one thing I was going to ask you when I was walking the dog and I had a terrible connection. In the Japanese version of this game, do they use the standard Fillmore or the 1-1 Fillmore song for 1-2?
Yes.
Okay. I was say I thought it had that more foreboding song.
Nope. So try to just commit a tiny bit of genocide.
This is what happens when you don't conform.
Yes. You will keep up the Joneses, or you will die.
It's not genocide, it's Darwinism. Let's be honest. You got a crossroad that's not filled next to your town hall, by the way. There you go.
Oh, there we go. That's so slow. I wonder if Max is something they added in the North American release. Because now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen Max.
The only reason I brought that up was because was wondering if they could build a mansion on that corner, and I can't remember if they can or not.
But yes. Cassandra, which for some reason...
Cassandra.
yeah, they call it Cassandra. Just probably due to the bad localization. Actually, the Star Magic is pretty good in this area. Or for the boss of this area.
Oh.
But yes, as you can imagine, with this being desert, this is going to be Egyptian mythology.
Yes, and you wouldn't believe it, but those cacti hurt.
Yeah. Oh, is this the one where you hit them and they kind of shrink and explode? Nope, that's something else.
Yeah, it's a different.
Also, it's one of those jumping physics in which you have, if you can't, you basically, if you try and go backwards, you just stop.
It's ghouls and ghosts, kinda.
Kinda.
You might not think it from this wonderful Super Star Wars kind of atmosphere that it has, but
This does look like Super Star Wars.
that was my first thought whenever I saw this as a kid.
Yes, this reminded you of an incredibly inferior game.
Mm-hmm.
Those tired things are being assholes. Super Star Wars.
Oh.
Super Star Wars, a game we in fact ranked on the very first episode of this.
Yeah, actually, funny story enough. So, let me guess. So this is episode 55. Can we do 110? Can we do Soul Blazer?
I think someone requested Soul Blazer, or maybe it's just I really have an urge to play Soul Blazer again.
I just replayed it, and it's actually still a great game.
Actually, from what I remember of replaying it, I think actually Soul Blazer is turning out to be my favorite of the technical quadrilogy, but really more of a trilogy.
I disagree. And that's solely because I'm a big Terranigma fan.
Terranigma is
Disagree,
pushing
it's
it.
not your fan.
Yeah, Terranigma is the one that would potentially question it. Illusion of Gaia, I just do not like.
No, I hate Illusion of Gaia, but no, Terranigma, I like, it would have to, it's ActRaiser and Terranigma or ActRaiser and Soul Blazer are right there, and then Soul Blazer, then ActRaiser, then Illusion, or then ActRaiser 2, believe it or not, and then,
Illusion of Gaia.
Illusion of Gaia. I really...
There actually technically is a fourth game of the Heaven and Earth. It's a PlayStation game that really did not get a whole lot of press.
The Saga, or
Grand Stream
not
Saga.
Grand Stream Saga.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the Grand Stream Saga is the only thing I remember about it was in some, I can't remember which magazine it was. They made a big deal about the fact that there was a shower scene in it.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I like the Quintet games, but you're gonna make a big deal about that? Okay, sure.
Well, those magazines at the time were just kind of crap.
Yeah, well, of course. It was the mid-90s.
I was gonna say, well, that sounds like a very Gamers Republic kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it was Game Informer, actually. It was before GameStop bought them.
Yeah. Okay, Cassandra.
I forgot that Grand Stream Saga was a Quintet game, to be honest.
Yeah, especially since it's just so weird. But yes. The standard might prove a little bit annoying.
Oh, God. You ever tried pressure washing off a beach?
Yep.
That's what you do here.
For storms, you want us to summon storms. Yep. So we got a rain. We got a rain on this desert because that's totally how that works.
Get out your singles. We're about to make it rain.
Those the yeah, they're there. I don't think I can do anything with that quite yet, but yeah, there's SNES lines.
Oh, that. Yep, that comes up later.
I don't think it's a. It actually might be a plot point. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That's absolutely a plot point. Because that's where one of the wonders of the world comes into play. Is what have we discovered so far? We've discovered wheat in Bloodpool. We have bridges in Fillmore. Cassandra is gonna have it, and then
that's actually because now that I think about it, because that ties into another area in more ways than one.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. I can't remember what the fourth one's wonder of the world is. It's not windmills, is it?
It's either... Yes, it is.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I know what the fifth one is, and spoiler alert, it relates to this one.
Yes. And then the sixth one is only for that one.
Yes.
God damn it. Oop. What do you want?
Be right back.
Oh no, some guys got lost. Hello.
Yo.
We have gotten to not Egypt.
I mean, it's clearly not Egypt. Look at all this grass.
Yeah, which we get by pressure washing the ring or the sands away.
Congrats on fucking terraforming.
Everyone knows the more pressure you put on sand, it turns into grass eventually.
Look, Axe, it's called divine terraforming.
The ability to change one element and turn it into another entirely.
Alchemy. Okay. Now we just need to have it go over.
God, this section is always felt like busy work.
Yeah. There's
Which
something...
it was, but still.
Yeah, there's something... I mean, it's kind of clever. Well, maybe not clever, but it's neat in some ways. Also, I forgot to use the MP thing.
It'd be better if you could build them roller coasters.
Yes, just... Yes, just God building death coasters.
Yeah, just like
should be.
Start building the coaster and then halfway through end it. And have it just like launch them into the monster's lair. They just seal it as they fly over.
No, make the roller coaster that feeds into itself. The endless roller coaster.
The Mobius coaster.
Nobody can get off. Or at least nobody can leave.
Yes.
What I'm saying is make Mr. Bones Wild Ride.
Make it the hotel roller coaster. You can get on anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Also, you kind of, for this section, you really kind of want to be careful with where you rain, because there's kind of a square that you don't want to unearth until you, like, the last possible second. Because if you unearth it before you need to, basically it will railroad you, it'll basically stop your town's progress.
Terrible crabgrass.
Also, we really need to get over that. Go up. Need to get over that guy. Also, I should use ring. Oh, that's not what I want.
Just tallying up all the people you're gonna murder later.
There it is. I am pretty sure that the tile is right. Oh. Oh. Found a friend. He's already dead. Watching a mysterious scroll.
Thanks, O Lord, for finding our dead friend.
We could have wandered over in that direction at any point, but we wanted to wait till you built roads for
So, also, from that... Oh, not quite yet. But basically the, invention of this area. We developed a wonderful technology. Music! Written in
Rush
memory
40
of the
starts
friend that they
playing.
lost.
Then they start blaring Blink 182.
No. His world just starts blasting.
No.
His world is great, the instrumental version. The instrumental version is actually good.
Also, remember the phrase, music can soothe the savage beast. Hello, puzzle solution.
It cannot soothe me. This is a lie.
It only enrages me more!
Go observe the people.
Especially your favorite one. You know the one.
Use an item. Wonderful music.
My favorite one?
No. Like you, the audience. It's directed. It's not directed at anyone in person. It's you know.
The song you like? It sucks.
There we go.
What a fucking loser liking that song.
So now... Oh, wait. Oh, there we go.
Guide the people to the river. Do it. You know you want to. Do it.
So internal. Oh, they have produced a compass now.
And also Cthulhu.
Also, I love that it took them so long to invent the concept of music.
Let's move over to heaven. Or move heaven over to Fillmore.
Just one day, Johnny discovered rhythm, and oh boy.
An item. The compass. Or deep sea film. Catch something. So. Let's watch this.
I do like the idea though that they just discovered music while this entire time
There we
you
go.
were blaring your music out of the speakers in the.
Serious jump.
It's the fancy music.
It's music they made.
My lord, what is that noise that you're emitting? Never
Welcome-
you mind.
Welcome to the music for the rest of the game, because it's gonna be in every town.
Sucks.
No.
Oh, there. Now we got the source of life. Now we can head back to Cassandra.
Also, I do love just the constant interrupting of music tracks when you're traveling.
I want to say that I think it's right here. Yep. Let's not do that.
You've gotta open that up eventually.
Oh, eventually, but we kind of want to build the town out a little bit more first.
Kinda looks like a pair of eyes and a nose now.
This level just seems incredibly tedious, and I hate it.
Yeah, this is... Well, I would say this is probably
Torpid,
the
you missed the intro. This whole game is tedious.
Jesus.
I mean, yes, I've seen the entire game multiple times.
Yes, unfortunately, I have too.
We've played it
That's
multiple
why I
times.
wanted to do the fucking Japanese version, but no, you fucking babies.
This
No,
is the
he's on
Japanese
the
What do you
version.
think of this
version.
brand new game, ActRaiser,
Oh.
that you've
Yeah,
definitely
this
never
is the
This-
Japanese
this-
version.
This is the Japanese version with a
Translation
Hero
patch.
Genesis patch.
Ah.
Hence why it's
Yeah,
saying
I-
Holy Father Eternal.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
why it's
Torvid.
Cassandra versus Cassandora.
Either way, I fucking hate these bits in this game. I really do. It feels like it's a separate game or tacked on.
Well,
Yeah.
then I asked the question: is this tacked on to the side-scrolling, or is the side-scrolling tacked onto this?
Oh, it's a side. This is tacked on the side scrolling because
I know,
boy howdy.
right?
I
like
mean,
it
Or are
better.
we tacked on to it?
I liked it better when you just stepped on a square and it released a guy.
Oh, wrong one.
Murder them all.
Just made it more hot.
Just how do y'all feel about heat stroke? Cause
Again,
Hope
Somebody
you don't want to go swimming today, folks.
oh loving father, why are you such a dick?
Why they chose this as a NA release title, I don't know, but they did. And
I'm sorry, just saying that, Tyrion, I'm getting flashbacks to fucking Brutal Legend, where the best part of the game is something they were told to add.
Like, I was so hyped for Brutal Legend because I'm really into metal music, and you know, I really do like Tim Schafer's work. And then I saw all the just the really weird RTS stuff, and I didn't even want to touch it after that.
Yeah, see, that's what's great, is actually the RTS is what it was originally meant to be.
yeah,
Higher-ups told them to put in the action platforming shit in the open. Which is great, because those are the best parts of the game!
Yeah, just like take out the RTS. I got nothing against it. It's just I didn't want any of that. Just give me a really cool metal game with an open world, and I can beat people up with an axe. I don't want to pull together a party of characters. Just one dude smacking people with a guitar. Maybe do like some sweet shredding magic attacks or whatever, and then throw in a bunch of. They didn't even get Bruce Dickinson. Come on.
well, you know, Bruce Dickinson. I mean,
They got Ozzy. Whatever. Overrated. Bruce Dickinson.
See-
Let's go.
for me as a metal fan, I am upset they didn't get Michael Ackerfeld, but that's more because I like death metal and I like stuff like Opeth and stuff, so
oh,
when I think of metal, I think of a band that has a logo that looks like a pile of sticks. That's what I'm looking for.
But yeah, like, part of my two issues with the RTS are, that I don't really like RTSs at all to begin with. I find them horrible and unfun to me. And B, it's a shitty RTS.
Also, having spent most of my time at underground metal shows, I don't have much of an affinity for the really, really, like, hardcore death metal stuff. I'll stick to, like, the melodic, like Arsis and Graveworm, no problem. But like,
let's see.
you want to get the really underground stuff where their logo is incomprehensible.
Well, yeah.
Hard pass on that.
I joke about that, but my favorite band is actually a band from my hometown where I actually am living again, and it's a band called Baroness, which I
Oh.
love.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, now you've freaking done it.
Which
You fucked it, Lolo.
You brought the Illuminati on us all.
Baroness is sludge metal, if you will. But
one of the many millions of subgenres of metal, none of which include nu metal, and I
Sure.
will die on that.
Well, that's good because
Look,
new
metal's
metal,
in the name, buddy. I mean,
I
just
don't
look.
care.
new metal
Learn
sucks.
English, fucker.
New metal sucks ass.
Look, just because it sucks doesn't mean it's not part of the genre.
It's not. I will off stream make a counter argument. I don't
Feed
wanna
me your
bring that up.
gatekeeping bullshit.
It's not gatekeeping. It's just not. It's alternative rock, and more annoying than that.
Also,
But it's definitely
But-
not metal.
Put it this way, like one of my favorite bands, Converge, I would never put them in that list. Ugh.
Definitely, like Guns N' Roses. It's not metal.
also they have really. So the first part, you probably couldn't tell that it was meant to be Egyptian. Boy, did they lay it on thick for this segment.
No, this is
Yeah.
not Egyptian. Very, very
No,
Egyptian. I don't know
no,
what
this is actually early Mesopotamian. But
God, the best part of these sections will forever be your fucking massive hitbox.
Oh,
you mean
also,
when the arrow touches your sword and you get hurt by it?
Hey, it's you but a bird.
You're a living statue. It was part of the statue, okay?
Also, one other change that they made from the North American, or from this version, the North American version, is they gave those things pants.
Well, you don't want
Otherwise,
them
it'd be too lewd.
Also, I kept until I always saw that these things, like these platforms that I'm standing on, was a face, and it's not.
like two snakes.
It's two
It's a
snakes,
bird.
but I was thinking of
Oh,
like
that.
Lolo, really? God, as your brother, I feel like I should
not
explain
not
this
not
to you.
like I see it now, but I always feel like it looked kind of like a face because like the blue thing at the middle is like a tongue.
Well,
Do
that's
you
right,
think-
because in
Okay.
Final
Do we
Okay,
want to have
wait,
the
go back
Hagen-
to the snakes. See, I saw the face until you said the tongue bit, and then I lost it.
Oh,
Huh.
God,
See, in Final
man.
Fantasy VI,
I
anytime
saw
like
a killer
Do we need to have? Okay, am I gonna need to post the picture of Aghanim, and then we're gonna discuss Aghanim and whether it's a hat or it's his face? Is that really what this is gonna come down to?
I mean, we'll get to that at some point because that's the next Zelda game we have to cover.
Well, no, it's,
I
I was
used
just saying,
to have
like,
a problem with the sprites in Final Fantasy VI when they're supposed to be laying down, but it always looked like the sprite was some kind of mushroom character.
What?
It's really, it's the weirdest looking thing. I always parsed it wrong
Ugh. Okay.
because the way the sprite is that their head is facing south, and the rest of them is facing north. But I always thought that they're facing north and the rest of them south.
Okay, so that being said, let's think about the sprite for Edward when he died in Final Fantasy IV.
Spoilers, God.
He doesn't.
Did-
No, it's not. It's not a spoiler because he doesn't
Ah.
actually die. I'm talking about like in battle when he dies.
Double
Oh.
spoilers. Ah!
Well,
Why
oh,
are you
surpri-
ruining this game for me?
surprise! When you have Edward in battle, he dies. That's all he
Yeah,
does.
so Lola,
That is
that
true.
bottom bit of the snake statue, when you were saying it was a face and I was trying to see it, that looked like a septum piercing to me.
Now that's
Really?
what I can see.
Really, because my wife has a septum piercing, and I still don't see that.
A very pronounced one.
Oh my god. No, I still don't see it.
Maybe I'll have
My
to.
point is, they're fucking snakes, and how did you fuck that up, Lolo?
I don't know. Bad eyesight.
He does have glaucoma. I can't.
Yes.
I can't blame him for that. Oh, never mind.
It's true, but also I am
I'll,
currently suffering from eternal
Okay.
double vision.
I'll not bring that up, considering
Oh,
Your
so you've got
home's-
foreigners.
your home state just legalized medical marijuana, and now you're.
Well, no, they thought they legalized, or not. They didn't legalize it. They got enough. The referendum passed, which means they'll considering it
Oh.
legal.
Well, you
Also-
got a Democratic governor now, so maybe
mean,
it'll
yes.
pass.
Axe,
Also,
I was hit
this
by the
boss.
foreigner belt. I am fucked.
Oh wow. Oh, Hey, in case you guys
God damn
didn't know, this is Egyptian, by the way,
Yes.
as Lolo pointed out.
No, this is clearly
Also, this is the boss that the shooting star magic is probably the best on.
This is the only boss that the shooting star magic works on.
The not the last
Besides the wyvern
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only one.
The
Eventually-
only one, except for this other one.
I mean,
But
well,
eventually you're
also,
gonna get the Earth to the
Act
box.
1 of that area also is kind of good.
I mean,
Against
look,
the
I'm already
sandworm?
full of ice.
Also,
Are you willing to sacrifice?
Yes, actually.
Alright.
Wanna die?
My love. Alright. Well, you were talking about the foreigner belt.
I
But-
know.
Yeah. Well, see, unfortunately,
Also, go to
Torpid
make
has a
Also-
case of double.
by the way, go to other areas as peaceful as Cassandra. Or not Cassandra, Cassandra. Oh, we discovered an ancient tablet, beef, and rock.
What's the next one? Icos? Is that what it's called?
No, it's Atios.
Atios, that's what it was.
Also,
Comes after Sevenos.
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, they got the plague. Well, you better leave, because they're fucked.
Rip.
Just hit him with the sun. That'll cure
Hey,
him.
I'm gonna go ahead and just type it in here into chat. Let's go ahead. Press F for respects.
Also,
Oh.
back. Fire magic. So, Atios. Not exact, because this is a very volcano-y area. So, not exactly the area that you think of for Japanese mythology.
Wait, volcano-y, you mean volcanic?
Yep. Yes, maybe.
I'd like to remind you that Lolo does not drink, but he still likes to make up words like he's a drunk. So,
Okay.
Also,
Louise.
I am trying to explain things while also playing at the same time.
Learn
I'm
to
eating my
multitask,
fucking dinner.
Lolo.
because
I'm betting Lolo is just sitting here like, why did I start this shit just to get dunked on the entire time?
I'm just thinking, oh, get dunked on. When's the Deltarune screen? Stream.
Change it to the
I mean, I have to do
dunk
Undertale
hour.
first, which, by the way, you can make me play Undertale. 10 people sub to me. But give me money and I'll play Undertale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see, that's why I refuse to give you money. Aside from being poor.
I mean, also, people can... Well, also, I think the only people that are watching me right now are followers. But anyway, if I think I'm only 10 followers away from La Milana.
But La Mulana's
Ah,
not
Oh,
it is a
by-
good game.
By the way, yeah,
Lolo,
Tengu.
I'm gonna be at your house in a couple of weeks. I'll just give you $100 if you play Milana. I'll give you one $100 bill. That's all it takes.
I want
That's all
a
it
short
It's
clip
gotta
handing
be
him
the
a
thing.
$100 bill, and then him holding it, just nodding to the camera, and then cut right to.
I'm sorry, just like the idea of just you knocking on his door, he opens up, you walk up to him, right up to him, take his hand, and immediately just shove $100. No questions asked or anything.
He's got to pet my dog first. That's the thing.
It's great.
I'm sorry, is that a euphemism?
No,
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 it's his literal
No.
dog. It's Mia, the
No.
Swedish dog that existed.
it's my literal dog. It's who is laying next to me right now and being a sweet girl. It's
See, my
Perfect,
cats are
this-
assholes. One is currently asleep in my room, and the other has been trying to figure out how to get at my hand.
that's your fault for owning cats, and you just own dogs. It solves all of it.
Lily is a sweetheart.
I love your response towards it. My cats are assholes. One is sleeping, the most asshole of activities. And the other
She
thing,
is-
I think you said a hat, which is the
No,
second
trying
most
to get
asshole.
at my hand.
Oh.
He was trying to jump on my hand.
Also, by the way, the track that plays is exclusive to this area. It's also a very good one.
Axe, he was the one who I was flicking with water.
Wait, what is it? Because in the American version, it's just the standard dun 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 dun
No, it's
dun
not.
dun 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 dun
No,
dun.
no. It's No, it's this one in the North American release. Also, a power-up that is exclusive to this stage.
Oh yeah, when you fight
Well, exclusive to this stage and one other boss fight. Also, this boss fight, which is...
I thought it had the
Exclusive to this stage, but not.
Well, it's not in any... It is in one extremely very specific segment.
And like how this boss is exclusive to every other game that has this boss.
I mean, yes.
We got the Land Mola here, and you've never seen it before, but
God damn it.
Behold the pit stank.
There we go.
it's completely different from every other snake that kind of goes around.
One of
You
the
might have
rare
seen this
games that has a waterfall boss fight.
Let's go back to the shmup ranking of shmups and play Millipede.
Okay, but this isn't a real game because you can't go behind the waterfall.
No.
It's true.
The new metal of games.
Oh God.
Fight me.
Also,
Rip Chester Bennington.
In
Actually,
seriousness,
I
no,
got
yeah,
nothing
definitely
to
rip.
there.
so yeah, basically we just have to destroy a bunch of rocks.
Just kill everybody. Just go back to all the towns and just kill everybody.
It's a shame you're the Abrahamic angel that doesn't have a hammer like a Norse. Then you can just break all the rocks.
I mean, Abrahamic angels are actually much more fucked up looking than this.
Actually, this is true.
Did they have like 3 mouths and 6 wings?
Depends upon if you're talking about the seraphim or the cherubim, and well,
I guess this would be cherubim.
this would be cherubim. Yep.
Thought I had to sneeze. Ah, also the first appearance of the
By the
skull.
way, you might notice that there's a volcano on this stage.
Yes. A volcano. A volcanic volcano.
It may or may not come into play later.
It's a bit volcano-y.
It's a bit volcano-y.
It's a great place to put a village next to.
Oh, by the way, you can kill enemies with the lightning, but it's really... You don't need to.
Kill.
Okay. So yeah, the skulls just take a lot of hits, and basically they will do an earthquake.
Yeah, they just laugh at you, which is great. Oh,
I appreciate enemies that are just there to be assholes, like they're not actively harming you. They're just shitheads.
That's pretty much just every enemy in this section.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Oh,
next.
come on.
Oh, I don't even need to look at that video. You're right.
Hmm?
The video you sent me, I know what you're getting at. And I don't disagree. The DM. That's for Axolotl.
You know what that is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
God damn it. Come on. Oh.
When I was in high school, I was big into King Diamond and Camel and King Crimson and a lot of other stuff like that. Oh, I didn't even... Oh, I didn't even... Oh. I just saw the name of the song. I didn't actually look at it, what it actually was. I'm sorry. I'll look at that later. Yeah, that's cool.
Alright. Over here.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I thought you were just trying to show me the name of the song. And I was like, I've listened to that song before.
Well,
My bad. I'll be
That's
right
all-
back, actually. I'm gonna get her a drink.
alright. But what? The technology of mountain climbing.
Like, define the technology of mountain climbing, because that is kind of loaded.
Oh,
Well, it takes time to build
Wonder.
Mara's pickaxe.
that doesn't do anything, does it? Ow.
Yes, set the mountain on fire.
Okay, what did you
Lolo,
find?
careful! You're gonna make it all volcano-y!
Alright. Start race horses. Ah, horses. Oh, so those are horses. Oh. That was a house. I'm just gonna actually use. There. Oh. I'd like to accept the stupid town's being built. Um. oh. Okay, let's send the wind. Also, you can use the wind to blow all enemies away. There, the skull actually do me a favor.
Yeah, wow, it's actually clearing out your shit for you, huh?
Yeah.
That's actually really convenient, fuck.
I don't think that's what they intended, but yes. Eh. Yep, remember the volcano? Oh no, I was intentionally letting it destroy stuff because that was giving me a higher population.
Yeah, because for reference, the style of house they build determines like the population of the house. And you have to basically tear down old houses if you want newer, better ones to be. So conveniently, that shithead skeleton actually saved him some time. Wait, Lolo, you fucking use that skeleton to gentrify your fucking village.
Yep!
Anyone who ain't on the up and up gets murdered.
Yep. That's kind of the fun thing about this game's leveling system. Also, I think Star Magic is also good with this stage. Yeah.
You see, it's gentrification in the name of God, so it's fine.
Gentrification.
Damn you.
So yes, I chose Act. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but the sound effects have a echo to them now.
The little touches.
I mean, I'm just glad that they had a statue of you just hanging out in the volcano.
Yeah, very convenient.
You know, maybe if Satan wanted to win, he would have just, like, destroyed the statues.
Yeah, but you see, winning with no challenge isn't any fun.
Who needs fun when you can win?
Got that. That sound effect when you swing your sword is really good.
Ha 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 ha.
This game has a lot of really good sound effects. Not be a little bit more patient. Oh, actually, I just realized that this is not the boss for the stage was not what I remembered it being. So Star Magic might kind of be bad for this stage or this boss.
Man, the music in this game is really hit or miss.
I don't know. I really like this track.
I know, maybe it's just me, but this track seems kind of bland.
I can see why one could consider it bland. Although,
Okay, no, now it's actually alright. It's just there's a lot of downtime in the track.
yeah. What, did I? Oh, the apple just didn't heal me all the way. Oh. Also, this thing. I believe the name of this thing is it's a one Yudo? One Yudo?
Oh, God. I know Doc would know this.
But yes, it is a Japanese fire wheel yokai.
It's fucking dead, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Juan Yudo, yeah. Or Juan Yudo.
Okay. Let's see. Ah! We can now... Sheepskin, which in North American release is fleece.
I mean, that makes sense, actually, but it's weird that they just learned to use sheepskin given their clothing.
Yeah, what were they wearing before? I wonder if Max must be a addition to the North American release.
It's more like we're already adept at making cotton-based clothing, but for some reason we never knew how to leatherwork.
Also, next area, Marana.
Wait, actually, with sheepskin, do they mean wool or do they mean sheep hide?
I don't know. But moving on from Japanese mythology, we're now moving on to Indian mythology.
I'm glad that we, the one true god, are just going around fucking up other religions.
Yep. God of War before God of War was God of War. Well, that was mostly just one, but I guess now it's technically two. Kinda. I would say that this is actually probably one of my favorite tracks, except for there's a track later on. Also, the stages. This just has a lot of tiny things, and yeah, your big hitbox is not helping.
Yeah, like the problems with your giant ass hitbox become more and more obvious as the game goes on, pulling shit like this.
I remember this stage being surprisingly brutal. Like, I don't remember Act 2 being nearly as bad.
Because it's very heavily layered and there's a bunch of shit on each layer. And they all shoot tiny garbage.
Although those guys can block for some reason. Oh, there's something over there. There. Oh. Oh. Oh, you can just hit those. Okay, that's at least nice. No, except they're on screen for about a half a second.
Oh, below.
Oh, is Discord eating it?
It's roboting pretty hard.
Hold on, let me see if I... Oh. Let me see if I can fix that real quick.
Who broke Discord?
Discord's been not that stable lately.
I mean, which voice server were we on?
South. I'll switch over to east. Okay, how's this? Oh. Is this better? Judging by the fact that
seems fine. You asked me right as I was taking a drink of my fucking water.
Oh, okay.
Is this good?
These guys are really not. Oh god, yeah. Especially since they have like a ridiculously long range.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, like I enjoy this track, except this opening bit to it, with like the fart.
See, this stage does nothing but remind me of stage 1 of ActRaiser 2, which is, oh my god, ActRaiser 2. What a game.
It is technically a game. Whether or not it's a good one is... But god, also, this...
Yeah, I was gonna say, define what you mean by what a game.
An
Well,
asshole is
it's-
what it
As
is.
somebody who has played Dark Souls and Bloodborne and whatnot, it makes me feel like I'd rather play those games in a vice clamp versus playing ActRaiser 2. ActRaiser 2 is so hard.
Also, one thing that especially doesn't help is the fact that it is more clunky than this is.
Was it 2 that Dectalon made
Yes.
the challenge from?
Yes.
Yes,
That
yes,
nobody
it
could
was.
beat?
ActRaiser 2, it was like, hey, so you like ActRaiser 1? Hey, how about we add the Bubsy gliding technique into it? That's great.
God, this fight is tedious.
Yeah, I think this might actually be the worst boss fight in the game.
Yeah, but you gotta get that herb. Oh, spoiler alert, sorry.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
mean,
it counts as a
they
spoiler for
already
this game of all games.
I was gonna say they
I-
already mentioned the fact that this area. Well, I was gonna say I thought they mentioned that this area has they outright mentioned in Cassandra that it has herbs that can heal them. God,
Why don't you just tell us the ending to Earth?
They outright mentioned in Castlevania.
This is the boss that is designed to be the biggest asshole it can possibly be. Like, this boss fight is not designed to be hard, it is designed to be an asshole.
What if video game but not?
Oh,
fun?
I can't listen to that cover, but I see where you're going. And awesome. That's for Axel.
You can do it!
I should have picked the star magic.
Joke's on your chump ass.
You know what this fight reminds me of? It reminds me of the fight in Metroid Fusion, where you get the plasma beam, except the one in Metroid Fusion is much less annoying. Than
Also,
this.
you can shoot up in Metroid Fusion.
But can you crawl?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
you have Morph Ball. Why would you crawl?
Why can't Metroid crawl?
She can crawl when she's not in her suit. Have you ever played Zero Mission? Lola, when?
Fucking give him the points.
Oh, for Fusion?
No, Zero Mission.
I mean, there's like 4 other games in the Metroid series that I have to do before Zero Mission. Also, thank
Why?
God.
It's the first one.
We already did
I mean-
the first one.
No, technically.
No, you didn't do the first one. It is the first one.
You gotta
chronologically
see,
maybe, but
you gotta see like the benefit, or you gotta see like the advancements of Fusion first before you do Zero Mission. And before
Oh.
Fusion, you gotta do.
Oh, you gotta, so you can grip on the.
It's like we are going to do Wanderers of East first, and then we have to get up to 6 and finish 6 before we can do Oath and Felgana. Also, I gotta restart for 1 second.
Fuck!
There we go.
Fuck, we're gonna have to do 5!
I believe.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe
we
the,
are gonna have to do
the-
5 when it transitions over to an action game.
I believe the method is order of release, not chronological.
Yes.
Chronological order of release.
No.
But also, fucking East 5. Ugh.
Yes.
And then we gotta do East
exactly.
5, and then we gotta do East 5 expert type, or whatever it was.
See, this is what it boils down to. I'd ask him to play Party Hard, but he isn't gonna play Party Hard 2 until he plays Party Hard 1.
So does Party Hard even count for this series?
Not for this series, it doesn't. Not at all. Actually, Party Hard 1's kind of
Yeah, Party Hard
retro.
1 is kinda, but I have not seen anything about Party Hard 2, so...
Next time I save up, I should just jam all my points down your throat so you play ESI.
Didn't you already do that?
Fuck, did I do that?
I
Shit,
think you did.
I've already forgotten all the shit I told you to play.
Oh, also, the one actual use of the one legitimate use of the earthquake.
The
Oh, I
one
can-
scripted use of the earthquake.
Oh, I have enough points to request an episode theme. Alright, so...
I mean, Tyrion already requested one earlier.
Yeah, I know.
How many points would it take to request Stroker?
As infinite?
Damn it.
Don't worry, Torpid. I'll hack into it for you.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Especially after him being on another podcast, I'm gonna make him play Llama Llama.
You can't, that does not how that works.
How are you gonna do it?
I already
Okay,
have
but
scheduled for
he'll make him
something
do
else.
it sooner.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. We're only
It's not-
10 follows away, it's not that far.
But 10's a lot. Just, yeah.
But are you gonna play the MSX or the remake?
I'm gonna play probably the remake, because it's the only one I can get to run.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
the original run, at least last time I tried to play it, was not very easy to play on newer
Ah,
PCs.
I need 88 more fun bucks. Damn it.
Might I point you to the casino?
I am not Torpid, okay?
Oh,
What, you are actually lucky?
No, I am not. I just know that I'm unlucky, and I refuse to take those losses.
Look, there's only one casino game out there that I'm good at, and it's Blackjack, okay?
Blackjack.
Which, Lolo, I fucking reinstalled
I
that
saw
game the
that.
other day. Kill me.
how long have you even been going?
The other
only
day,
2
it
hours.
was like 2 or 3 Lolo streams ago, I was trying out all the different ones. Like, y'all have better luck than Torpid, and I can make fun of him. No, I didn't.
I want to say I can actually.
Jesse, never try that.
I was gonna say I actually think you can manipulate the odds in the thing, but maybe that's something else.
I mean, I broke even, which was fine.
Oh,
Yeah, I decided to pick a card for shits and giggles, and I lost 480 fun bucks. Fine, I'm giving it another go.
oh no! They've built.
This is what I'm talking about!
They have built another temple.
This temple sucks.
Oh, is it this one that? I think it's the. Nope. Okay. I think it's the next one, or I guess 10. Well, last one, I guess. But hitting with the lightning will give you something. Okay, let's try bow and arrow. Come on, just.
You know, the development of these peoples are fucking baffling.
Oh. Oh no. They're starting to unfind Jesus.
It's time to rain down some truth. And by that I mean lightning bolts. Kill.
Oh, awesome.
Guide the people to the afterlife.
By the way, can someone say something?
Something.
Okay, good.
Things.
I got really paranoid that the Discord was not being picked up by OBS.
God, wouldn't that be some shit though?
Just the entire stream.
It's just me talking to myself.
Man,
I mean, do
tell
we
you,
really exist?
There
Can't
was
prove it.
there was a strange twist near the end of the first season of Retro Rank Rhapsody, where Lolo just starts making up co-commentators.
Lolo, have you ever even seen any of us in the same room? I mean, really?
I mean, one of you, yes.
Can you prove it, Lolo? Can you?
Give me about 2 weeks, and yes, I can. I wonder if I can, because I think there's sometimes you can position in these ones that are on the edge of the map. Sometimes you can position it so that the monster just straight up goes outside the map. Nope, it's maybe you.
This game is maybe not the greatest.
There we go. Oh. That's not good. Well, it's probably good for them, but that's not good for us. Time to kick some ass. Oh, maybe this song did play another stage. Okay. Oh. Nope. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's a death. Multiple deaths, actually. Also, that sound effect is not doing what it should. Oh. Actually, a lot of sound effects are not doing what they need to do. But the most important one is making, or is playing. This is a big temple. Also, oh hey, it's Kali. Also,
Yes.
I think my computer seems to be hating me as of recently. It just casually just dropping sound from Discord.
It would absolutely be terrible if every one of us switched to push to talk and then just press the push to talk button, but never actually said anything ever.
I see you do that. I heard the press. Jackass.
I actually am not doing it for that reason. I usually am pressing it to say something and then I don't know what to say, so I just don't say. But now I just thought of that idea, so.
Oh no, I was doing it.
Oh. Ah, we have gotten the herb. Oh, I have to take it first. Nope. Heaven. There we go. Oh. There, now that I have that. Heaven, back to the bird-shaped island. Oh. Okay. Ah, new magic spell. Horror magic. So I think I need to back to blood pool. Serve. Offering. Move. Serve. Use. Nice. Now I'm going to quake. Again.
Such a fast and efficient god. Did you make sure to murder the non-believers?
Yes. I mean, we've thinned it pretty good. And I want to say, actually, I think we might actually now be at max level. Nope. 3,000, I think is. I think this should be max for the area. Yep. Okay, so on to the last area. North Wall. You want to take a wild guess what the mythology of this area will be? Oh, also, that is not good. All right.
Is it Incan?
No.
Aztec?
No.
Maya.
Not Mayan.
So how goes ActRaiser?
We are at the...
Final area.
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, okay, but what I mean is, are you enjoying it?
It is
Looks like
a
it's going to
thing.
be ranked favorably.
We'll
I'm sure it
see.
would be good once they patch out all the bugs and, you know, the DLC gets.
What problems did you guys have with it?
It's a bit slow.
The top-down sections or this?
Top-down sections mostly.
I mean, the side-scrolling sections are just a raging asshole.
Also, this track is unique to this stage, and also I think this is my favorite track in the game.
Oh, wait, so on those ice blocks, they don't actually fall until you cross them completely.
Yes.
Well, no, it's as soon as you stop being on them. You can
Yeah,
jump on them, and they will fall. Like, as soon as you land on them, if you remove yourself from them, they will fall immediately afterwards. So if you panic, and you're like, oh no, collapsing blocks, and you jump left, say goodbye to that path. At least if I remember right.
I will also say that probably my favorite version of this track, there is a album that was put out that actually is really unfortunately rare now, called the ActRaiser Symphonic Suite, which is exactly what it sounds like it is. That has a really nice rendition of this track. It is actually what I was playing during the little intro bit, or during the stream warm-up. I think... Oh, yeah, there it is.
I don't remember actually spending a lot of time exploring the side-scrolling sections.
I think this and the next stage, I think, are really the only ones that let you do that.
Well, no, technically speaking, there's always been secrets in the side-scrolling sections, but I just, approach the standard, just any road that doesn't lead further right is not a road forward mentality.
I mean, yeah, but this stage in particular and the next one really kind of benefit from it.
I thought the waterfall was the first more obvious area.
Maybe, but I don't think that one's quite as big.
My problem is that after ActRaiser 2, I don't remember which stages are in which game. It's obvious when you remember, the gameplay for ActRaiser 2. But
I think it's more if the stage has a really high reliance on Mode 7, then it's an ActRaiser 2 stage.
I mean, that's fair, but what I'm saying is that I don't remember exactly the layout of either stage, Mode 7 featured notwithstanding.
I can't remember a damn thing about the stage in ActRaiser 2. Mainly because I'm trying. I try to block that game out from my memory as much as I possibly can. Oh, you got.
That's fair. I do not blame you. The problem that I have is that the first two stages are both set in forests, and I think that messes with my memory.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I know that ActRaiser 2 must have more inclinations and more pitfalls. Like, guaranteed, because that was the big new thing.
I remember there being a tower in ActRaiser 2.
Yes. But the thing is that I also know that in this game there are secrets like up on the trees, but you can also just ignore them immediately. You can just keep heading right until you've reached the boss.
God, yeah, I think that's probably going to be our highest score. Also, yeah. Remember Cassandra?
I love terraforming.
I do. Terraforming's my jam.
Also, it's going to go ahead.
Then you must lead a very empty life.
And solve
You know I do.
and solve the solution to the non-puzzle. Of, hey, oh, we're gonna give you a thing to prevent against the cold. Before you even get there, before you can even think about there being another segment that's gonna be cold. Thankfully, I just have so much magic that this is just pointless.
It's fine, it's fine. Don't forget that the monsters will spawn so that you get more SP.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, I just have so much that I could probably just do this entire map just with what I have.
Yeah, but if you need the other spells, then...
I don't think I really need the other spells right now, though. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. There is one secret thing I can do real quick. What's this dick been hiding from me? Hey, give me an extra life. Okay, let's actually just let him build. Also, look who's back.
Yep, back again.
The guy who's gonna actually do us some favors. Oh, there's two of them.
Yep. So what do you think that they're doing you some favors?
Because they will do an earthquake if I let them just sit there for a while. Like that.
I don't recall why that's a good thing anymore.
Because if they build poor population housing, or poor civilization housing.
Isn't this why this is slow for you? I don't recall ever letting the monsters actually do things.
Okay. It's gonna be great because this is the last segment that we have to do this.
And then we must go down and rebuild hell.
Okay, that should be enough. For population. One of them done. Thank Christ. And found a bomb. Yes, they can build bridges. Yay. Yeah, it's great that we can work together. Okay, what do you want? How about that tea tree? These sets of initials. Oh, hey, a scroll.
The Tree of Mana. The more likely Yggdrasil.
Yeah,
That
it is. It is very much definitely Yggdrasil. Okay, so now.
Meanwhile, I'm not sure
There we go.
26 people. Don't you still have to kill the skull, even though the
We just
spawn
did.
point is down? Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, no. Actually,
Yeah, they don't
wait.
die when you destroy their spawn point.
Monster. Uh-oh. I think that should do it.
Stop being unhappy, you cowards!
Go.
I forget, the number on the right is counting all the previous townspeople also, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Should. Level 17. Yeah, it's your full strength, so we are now max level.
Hurrah.
Meaning I do not care anymore. Okay.
We mode 7.
All right. Also the most John Williams-esque John Williams track, not John Williams track.
That's not what John Wayne said you just uttered.
Oh,
Yep. You pushed him right into the loading zone.
well, it put me also right in the middle of the map.
Well, I mean, you're entering a tree. For whatever reason, they decided to depict it this way, so... Makes sense.
Also, you do not have the flexibility, or you do not have the agility to have an axe armor character.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this axe armor isn't behaving very axe armory. You know that the axe armors usually, like, do a little pose and wiggle. These guys are just straight up throw, 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 throw.
Also, I don't think I need to go in that area.
No? I forget, was there not block in ActRaiser 1?
No, there was not.
No.
Which, if this game had a block thing, that actually might, you know, help alleviate some of the jank. This last stage is brutal.
Could have sworn there was something. I don't recall.
The block is in ActRaiser 2.
Yeah, but...
This stage is definitely the chopping block for everybody, for sure.
Hello, Manuel.
Not to mention you have to fight the wyvern at the end of it, so it's just rough.
Yep. So, God, that...
I think that's an apple too. You really want that?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm thinking, I'm like... That damn bird is being... They just put that thing, like, right in...
Oh, good lord, that is rough.
Oh, it's a half apple!
A apple.
It's a better than nothing apple.
Get that apple. This is going.
I would
well.
just say get into the boss fight, eat a dick, and then have full
That's
life.
that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. Although I could probably actually beat this boss with little health.
I didn't know that's how you restore health.
Also, we now have the exact same amount of health as the boss does.
See, that's the thing I don't like about the star magic. It's so hit or miss. That sucked ass. You got 5 ticks on that.
Well, let's try that again.
That first one, you go back to that first one. That first one, you got 5 ticks on it.
Oh, no. That's
Those
right.
force fields from the sword.
There we go.
Ah, cheater.
Welcome to these streams.
I know.
What happens when you hold the Y button in the action stages? Well, I guess next time.
What do you...
Could have sworn.
I am pretty sure there's not a block. If there is a block in this game, then...
Well, the manual says, for whatever reason, under Y button, it says control sword movement, which is a weird way to just say you can attack. And then it says throws force fields from the sword.
That's if you have a specific power-up. Also,
Okay.
now that...
That you only get in one stage, as Lolo stated, and then another one.
Yes. You get it in 1.5 things.
Yep.
But also, we've beaten North Pole. God, is there something that I... Oh! Okay. Oh, right, they don't have a little animation in this one. The North American version, there is a little animation for this area appearing. Deathheim.
Where Deathheim appears, yep.
This is the last stage. I'm gonna take Fire Magic.
You didn't pick up the 4th magic?
Nope, I forgot what it was. But also,
It's not good, but...
this is the last fight.
AKA the boss rush.
Yep.
The magical aura is just a bunch of balls that spin around you. That's what you missed, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they're not very good.
It was in Marana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, also, so yes, you're now fighting all the Act 2 bosses, but at a higher speed.
I still love that it's wearing a Speedo and has a gigantic bulge.
Well, would you rather have a big hanging dick out?
Would you not?
Good point.
I mean, if Nintendo let them get away with that, that would have been hilarious. And also,
It'd be like
Kind
Dante's
of a-
Inferno.
I'm not gonna lie, if he came down and he had a flopping dick, I'd probably laugh too hard and then I'd lose. They'd probably get their point across.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, wow, that's way faster. And a lot more annoying.
are you rewinding them every time they decide to spawn on a platform that's too far away from you?
No.
It looks like that.
Also, I am really just... since I have 5 lives, I am just going to face tank until...
I'm glad I'm back in time for that amazing boss.
You missed the dick talk just now.
You know what? Maybe that's for the best.
We
Yeah.
were talking
Oh, I just
about
noticed that the background for this area is different in this version of the fight.
Yeah, they got the clips.
Just fucking barely.
I love that Satan's final last-ditch plan is, okay, what if all the things that they already beat, but slightly faster?
Is the opponent supposed
To be fair, he's like, well, I had this perfect, and this might work, except, you know, let's make it a little bit faster. That'll make it work.
Yep.
Except now you beat the boar. And
I beat the trickiest one to fight. Like the one that you're probably gonna lose a lot of health on. Because this one just has a really easy to solve pattern. Oh, too soon.
By the way, Lolo, I don't know if you bought Requiem for the PS4, but they have an achievement. I just thought I was telling Katie about it, and she got a really big kick out of it. The achievement for beating the succubus is called, oh god, what is it?
In which game? Oh, so in Symphony?
In Symphony is, you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh god. Oh.
I hate these Chivos. And I hate them mostly because they reference the original English translation without actually having.
Well, no, that's referencing the room,
Oh.
which is cool.
No, but I'm saying in general, the reason I hate the Chivo name.
What makes me upset is the fact that it's not the original English translation. You know, the "What is a man?"
Yeah.
crack.
It's not the voice actor of Silent Hill.
That's what I was saying, and they reference it in one of the Chivos as part of.
It's like, oh, we got rid of it in the more important things, so we're just gonna make a little meta
Okay.
thing.
Okay, where do I have to stand for it to not be an asshole?
You have to stand underneath the face. I think. Oh, well, I could be wrong.
Honestly, Tyrion, contract.
I mean, it's just...
But in Requiem though, isn't Richter still THC?
No, isn't Richter... No, it's Alucard that's Yuri Lowenthal, right?
No, in the Rondo, it's still THC, right?
I don't think so.
I didn't think they redid Rondo. I thought they only redid.
Well, Rondo has new voice actors. Like they.
Oh, really?
I thought they put the English because that's where they took. That's what the fan translation took. Is they took the PSP version. Voice
Okay.
clips.
I don't know.
God, this boss fight sucks.
Yeah, the PSP version was translated when they did it in the PSP, but Symphony of the Night went untouched, and I guess for HD.
No, Symphony and that's where the voice new.
Yeah,
translation came
Requiem is a new
The P-
voice. And
Wait, the PSP version, Symphony of the Night, was actually changed?
yes, it was.
Yeah.
I
Also-
think the one that I'm playing, the remastered one, is based on the PSP version.
It is.
It is.
It's basically the PSP version.
Except
You
for
actually just jump into him and hit him while he does that attack.
Right.
Except for the fact that I wish it had the 3D PSP version. That was kind of fun, actually.
If only it had the Saturn version.
Oh, well, the Saturn version is lost to time, really.
It also is an inferior. Well, it's inferior except for the new areas, but in every other version.
It's actually sad because I wanted to show Katie that because we were watching Castlevania and she loved it. And she goes, "Oh, they're playing the Castlevania song for the fight." Well,
Yeah.
Lolo, you haven't
Don't
watched it yet.
don't
sorry.
don't bring that up.
Sorry,
Don't bring
sorry,
that up because
sorry.
this is
Sorry.
people have not seen that. So
Yep, sorry.
it is as you can probably imagine what it is, but don't spoil what exactly it is.
But yeah,
It's a good
Katie
thing I
goes,
wasn't paying attention to anything that you were saying.
You know what it already is because you've seen
Katie
it.
goes,
It's the
Oh.
part where the guy comes out and you recognize him immediately, and you're like, "That's the guy." And then
If the guy was a concept, then yes.
Katie goes, "Oh, that's the Castlevania song." I said, "If you consider that the Castlevania song, okay." But yeah, it totally is. It is so good though. That I've watched that multiple times
Yes.
now.
The season 2 of Castlevania improves
so
on the
good.
original.
Oh,
in
It's
so many
so-
ways.
Okay, yeah.
I have seen it twice at this point.
It's so good.
Also,
It is very good.
One in particular, not saying who, just eats everything all the time and is beautiful.
Also,
and-
remember when I said that you get it in a different segment?
Oh yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Oh, hey, there's the shockwaves.
Also, fighting against Satan himself. Also, I'm going to eat shit, so I get more health.
He has all your spells.
See, you'll say shit here, but you didn't say it in that other podcast.
Well, that's because it's someone else's podcast, and I don't want to sully
Yeah, but-
their stuff.
Talk
It's
about
because I'm here and I automatically bring everything down with me.
And I'm also here.
Speaking of which, when are you playing that game on Retro Rank Rhapsody?
Don't shit your pants.
Yeah.
Fuck,
That's
that
a
game's
guy.
good.
Are you ever going to reach the Newgrounds early?
To be fair, there are actually
retro
some
gaming?
alright Flash games.
Well, I mean,
There are some
to
alright
be
Flash
fair, if he
games,
ever
but-
plays Rogue Legacy, he has to play it just to show it
Because
off.
why is there why is there this drawing of a purple dude next to a toilet?
It is one of the best text parser adventures I've ever experienced in my.
Also, look how much health this guy has.
Yeah, and look at how he just rips off the sprite of the end guy on Ninja Gaiden.
Does he?
I said the Jacquio looks a little bit different. It's not. He's not
See?
brainy. He's not brainy enough to be the Jacquio.
He kinda is, but
Speaking of Newgrounds and Flash, Max, 10K, drop it on Arrival and.
No, that doesn't count.
It's true, it doesn't count, but you know what does? Tower of Heaven, just so.
Tower of Heaven does count.
And it's good.
What are we talking about now? I know
Games
Tower
that
of
are
Heaven, but
eligible
what was
if
the
you
other
have
one?
enough fun bucks to make me play. No, there's enough. There's enough games at that point that.
No, I'm just
Ooh.
asking what the name was of the
I
game
just thought-
mentioned first. No, something
Also-
else.
Also,
I just thought about that. I have enough points to make him play Binding of Isaac.
I already did that.
No.
Also,
We did it!
He won, yeah, I bet. Hey, Satan lost. We won.
so there is an additional mode that you get upon completing this game. If you beat that mode, he'll do the sword up in the air, and there will be doves flying in the background.
Damn,
you
you should have done that mode though.
If you be professional,
Yeah. I hate this stupid name that I picked.
you should have picked Norse.
You sound so exasperated.
that is a joke between brothers.
That's a joke between brothers because when I bought Soul Blazer,
Legacy of
for
Cain,
some reason
Blood Omen.
Didn't someone rank? I could have sworn someone suggested that already.
Maybe, but also fuck Blood Omen, holy sh.
when
You have to start there.
I
Yeah.
bought Soul Blazer, for some reason the file name was called Norse, and it should have been called Norse, and that's what it boils down to.
But they call you Lord, so it's the dumb joke of calling yourself Lord Almighty. And it makes sense.
Lord-
It's sometimes
Lord
funny.
Norse. It should have been Lord Norse.
You should just name yourself E, so it's Lord with an E.
Lordy Lord.
Be royals,
Lordy, lordy.
never be royals.
Cover it with foil.
Also, I'm
Okay,
barely
you're a
reading this
fucking
text.
cherub. Why are you waxing philosophical at me? Jesus Christ.
I don't
I
know.
also-
Hey,
Well, I think this is pretty successful, so I'm gonna call it a night. So, night, y'all.
Mike,
Later. Look, all I'm saying is that this shitty cherub's thinking above his station. He should fucking stop.
well, guess what? There's gonna be 6 areas of that.
It's so slow.
Okay, that's me too a little bit too fast.
Stop talking to me, angel.
Do you remember how the people of Bloodpool drew lots to decide who would be the sacrifice?
Now they just throw people in at random, without even drawing lots.
Teddy deliberately set himself so that he would be the sacrifice. This would be a very
Well, it sucks
poignant
to be
point.
Teddy.
That would be a very deliberate plot point in a game that actually people actually mattered.
Had all the emotional impact of a wet fart.
I mean, a wet fart has a lot of emotional impact.
Mostly physical.
Depends on the
though.
location.
You think of this theory that they were attracted to the Illuminati, yes. Oh, also I think they took the eye out in the North American release.
Also, it's a little weird that they're saying slaves reborn as monsters because of their hatred, which is not so good.
Wow.
This game has aged deliciously well.
Also,
Classic,
that's
though.
probably just a thing of... You know what, actually, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
I feel like we're
Acid,
all connected at this exact moment in one singular. And it's just an endless loud groaning.
Ah, yes. Building houses despite the downpour of lava. There's certain islands, a set of islands that are, for some reason, immediately coming to mind.
One of the leaders died working for you. He was giving his all to let people know that you existed. It had nothing to do with all the lightning bolts you're sending down, the demons that you were killing. Nah, this one dude who died near a volcano.
I
That was
more
it.
I more enjoy the Cherub mentioning their persistence, how it was enviable. Despite the fact that you were letting all their houses get burnt to the ground intentionally so you could gentrify the whole...
Gentrify so I can feel better about myself.
Exactly.
That the entire leveling mechanic in this game is justified in game by your ego. God's viewer count's getting high enough so he feels better about himself. There's more strong.
God's going for the high score.
This world kinda sucks.
Yes, if someone's seeing evil, talk to them. It'll make everything all better. Instead of just striking their ass down with a lightning bolt. I just realized this might be a little bit quiet. I like the fact that they have the reincarnation plot point in the Norse area. Not, in the area of the region that, actually had believed in reincarnation.
No, it's really romantic. Shut the fuck up.
Look, the romantic subplot in this game was really well thought out.
There was a romantic subplot?
I mean, I more appreciate this really, like, warm, grassy place surrounded by...
I appreciate you cutting off at the end of your sentence.
Oh, hey, nobody loves you anymore. You helped them too much.
Okay.
I mean,
Or some
yeah.
such. These people only came here because they needed you. Now that they don't need you, you can go fuck yourself.
Yep.
And it's the privilege of a god to be able to do just that.
Also, this
I
is
think
a
that
really
humans are
weird lesson at the
happiest
end.
when they no longer need gods and have forgotten about them. Let us pray that will never need us again.
It's
Wow.
such a weird fucking ending to this game about playing God.
Also,
Here-
pay attention to this next bit of music and see if you recognize a familiar tune.
Mode 7.
Mode 7 is not a song.
Oh, fuck off.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So yeah. That was ActRaiser.
What a fucking awful game.
It was a fantastic game.
I wonder how many of the people that worked on this also worked on East 1, like this guy right here.
This fucking loser.
I mean, just as a point of reminder, the fact that Quintet, the main company that worked on this, was founded by one of the main developers of East.
Yeah, I love that complete out of nowhere. You're playing this game about being a god, and then in the very end, it's like, yeah, you know what? Gods kind of aren't really all that necessary. It'd be great if we all didn't need religion or anything. What?
No, it's humans are at their happiest when they actually don't need the help of a god, come to find out. Just when they can do shit themselves, I guess.
I mean, that's not a bad message.
Maybe it's a good thing they don't worship us anymore.
It's kind of the message that Enix always gives, though. Like, it's their jam. It's straight up their bread and vinegar.
Well, we should be more used to you. Since, you know, it's Square Enix.
Squeenix.
It might be Squeenix, but the properties that are developed and written...
Also, I like the user Shiro gets his own
predominantly by the
copyright.
Enix team. Wait, what? Oh.
I'm the composer. I have my own copyright.
I mean, that's how they did it in Streets of Rage, too.
I mean, it's contract stuff, and he actually does a lot of stuff for a lot of different people.
Also, soft lock.
Yes.
But,
Oh, God.
if I do this... At least, hopefully, it should do this. Oh, they call it just special. In the North American release, it's called Professional, but just a quick go in here for a sec. So what Professional mode is it just goes straight to the side-scrolling segments, and it's just a harder mode, because enemies now take twice as much damage, and also you take twice as much damage. Or you take twice as much damage, and so does the enemy, or enemies take half. Yeah.
And I was just thinking of like the Yuzo Koshiro seal of quality. I was like, I remember him doing some weird choices of games, and then I saw Time and Eternity. I'm like, yeah.
Wait, what?
Fucking Time
Yeah.
and Eternity, yeah.
Yeah, that was composed by the same guy who did the music for Time and Eternity. But yes. So I was I was kind of having trouble thinking about what list does this game even belong in. Because Resistance would kind of be the first choice considering the side-scrolling segments, but I actually kind of think that it belongs in Adventure just because it's a lot longer, and if you could kind of almost see the planning state or like the city building as almost a kind of overworld. Like almost Zelda 2 style, but not quite. Like, this game, it took 3 hours to beat. So, it's definitely longer than...
Two of which were just fucking waiting.
Yeah. So, I think the game as a whole probably is more of an adventure than really anything else.
I could see that.
So I at least think it belongs in this list. And in that case, I would probably actually put this. I would put it above the Guardian Legend.
I'd play Zelda over it.
I would play The Legend of Zelda. Wait, no. Which Zelda is this? The first one?
Very first one.
I play ActRaiser over Zelda personally, then.
Yeah,
But I'm biased, so.
I am actually kind of. God, I really don't have a one that's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would play it over Zelda, but I would also rather play For the Frog the Bell Tolls.
Yeah, it's not. It is not going above For the Frog the Bell Tolls.
I have not personally played For the Frog the Bell Tolls, so I cannot judge it.
So yeah, I'm thinking in between. Yeah, I'm thinking in between For the Frog the Bell Tolls and the original Legend of Zelda. Go.
Just I keep forgetting that Yuzo Koshiro has done every fucking Train Odyssey game.
Yep.
God, I
That's
can't
such
believe
a
it's
55.
Ah,
Also, every Wangan Midnight Maximum too.
By the way, if you have not heard those soundtracks for the Wagon Midnight games, they are a thing.
They're so fucking good.
That's a SNES. I'm just gonna put action. Also, I'm gonna hide those. Tone. Really atonal.
I mean, Max, as much as it pains me to say this, I am super fucking wary of it. Because who fucking gets distribution rights kind of determines if it's gonna be good or not.
Oh, wait. Another new one? Like, did it come out in Japan already?
What
like
came out in Japan?
Like East 9?
That's what I'm wondering. That's why I'm looking it up now, but keep going.
I'm gonna say that it's atonal. So sound. It's definitely a good soundtrack. It's definitely. I would say that the lowest I would give this is like I would have a hard time saying that this is B. I say it's probably an A soundtrack. Because I was thinking I would probably give it an S soundtrack, like just because of how legendary this soundtrack's kind of known. But as I'm hearing it, it's actually not as good as I remember it, outside of a few select songs.
I'd say like a B.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't. It's not a bad soundtrack by any means. It's a good soundtrack, but I don't particularly think it's that great. But I do recognize it is well recognized, which is kind of redundant. But
yeah, I'm thinking that like because now that I think about it, the more that I've listened to it more recently is more of like the because I mean I'm pretty sure there's an MSU hack of this that replaces the music with sound either if not the symphonic suite version, a very similar sounding one. That I would at least give an A, but this instrumentation, the more that I hear of it, like I would actually probably I'd actually be fine giving it a B. Style. Doesn't look bad. And I would say it looked probably above average. The question is that I would have is it good in a technical sense or an artistic sense? Because I'm thinking more of a technical sense than artistic, because some of the like you can definitely tell what everything is, and I'd say it especially for a close to launch SNES game. I would say from a technical point it looks good. It's just I'm kind of questioning the artisticness of it.
if you're going in as far as artistic, if you're thinking in terms of like cohesive, like do all these elements fit together, I would agree. Technically, everything does look good. It looks like what it's supposed to, and it looks nice. Aesthetically, like the Egyptian thing, really, like that need to be there.
Yeah, it's like it's just from a like they don't really play that into it. Like it's just it's these areas that they're just taking stuff from like Egyptian like or various mythologies. Like if they played more into that, I think it would be a lot better. But here it's just let's each area
I mean,
has
it
its
was
own
still
mythology.
weird that they, despite being like this completely different thing, and just
Like,
like allusions to Egypt, they still had the slaves built the pyramids thing, and I guess they became monsters after death because of their anger.
But like they could have easily tied some lore and like maybe the reason you're doing all the stuff you're doing is to disprove all the other so-called gods and prove yourself as the one and only true one. And Satan doesn't like this because it's ruining all the chaos and confusion that having all these other religions is causing. Like that would be an interesting story. Would explain the differing mythologies around, but it's just chaos.
No, you see, it's like a battle royale thing. Is actually
Yes.
100 gods are dropped onto a planet, and whoever defeats all the rest becomes the one true god.
You don't see it, but there's actually a slow circle just kind of encompassing the whole overworld. It's just a weird boss with balloons. I'm
really
thinking.
strange.
I'm thinking. Now that I think about it, I'm even debating about whether or not I even give it technical props.
I don't know. Like again, it looked really good. It was good sprite work. The overworld map, I don't know. It was all right, but
It
the
was simple because
side-scrolling
it
levels
had
looked
to
good.
be.
Right, exactly. I'm sure there's plenty of limitational reasons. Side-scrolling levels looked fantastic. They were very detailed, and you could always tell what everything. Well, some of us could always tell what everything was.
Also, the Kali boss having a snake head is also weird.
Yeah, so there are definite inconsistencies. I'd say C.
Yeah, let's just to double check because I was thinking B just because this game looks technically impressive, albeit a bit weak in the artistic realm.
Yeah, no, it's a good looking game. I would say B personally. That's what I was leaning.
Okay, let's say B.
Feel.
Feel. Let's just double check. Seemed. I mean, E is looking pretty accurate. Either D or E are both really good ways to describe this.
Yeah, especially because you were time wizarding it up and still having fun stuff.
I will go ahead and say that this, it looked like the amount of time wizarding kind of probably made it look a little bit more difficult than it actually is. This game is plenty beatable on an actual cartridge. Also, I'm playing the much harder version of the game too.
Oh, so you were playing sloppy as shit because you had the time wizard powers?
Yes.
I don't feel like just from watching, obviously not from feeling because I was playing it, but just from watching, it didn't seem like anything was maliciously.
Yeah, no, it didn't
Maybe
seem like terribly difficult to control. Like the side-scrolling segments, which seem to have their issues, but were fine.
Yeah,
and the overworld is hard to fuck up the controls for. I would say they're overly simplistic.
I think D is probably a better because like the problems I'm having is just it just feels like they did not give you enough to work with and they just kind of not threw it together, but it's like they had a very base kind of thing and they didn't really it doesn't really have as many mechanics if there was say a blocking system, I feel like it would make that gameplay a lot better. But
to be fair, part of it feels like it's because they split their attention from what are basically two different games.
yeah.
And bosses. Bosses was the other key element. Like the regular stage sections didn't seem all that bad. There are a couple of things that were a little iffy, but the bosses I would say were fairly bullshit, but not maliciously bullshit. Just kind of more incompetently bullshit.
Yeah, and it got
Or maybe not incompetently, because that's a little unfair. It's kind of harsh.
It's kind
Just
of it's almost like they wrote themselves into a corner. Like that kind of comparison. It's like, okay, we have these mechanics. None of it really you can't really make that great of a boss fight from any of these outside of like even like the first mini boss or like the first mid boss did not feel bad. And also, you just have so much health that if you go in full health, you can just face tank.
Also, there's never really any carryover between the two gameplay styles. Like, they don't influence one another in any way. Just a level transition.
There is technically, and it doesn't seem like it plays much into the Japanese release, but the North American release, they definitely tie what your score is in each act into your population cap. So technically, the better that you do, and also I think however many monsters you kill in the actual action stage does slightly influence the overhead stage, but not by much.
Like, they had some really neat ideas in regards to their mechanics and how they tie together, but they all didn't tie together well enough.
Yeah.
So honestly, like, personally, I'd approach it as an E, just because, like, you know, it just didn't come together well enough.
And I still feel like D is more fitting given the definitions as they are.
If I could do a D, like if I could do a DE, I probably would, but I don't have that at the moment.
D.
At some point you're going to implement the plus and minus.
Oh, I know that I'm going to do it at some point, but
Gonna grade everything proper.
You've been waffling on that a couple of times on the last couple of episodes.
The problem is that
because that has huge implications on all the rankings.
Yeah, it's like, okay, which one of these were just barely towards the edge? Also, it doesn't help the fact that I'm also changing what each letter means, too.
Yeah, it would also be fucking hell to apply retroactively.
Oh, yeah.
So I am just going to put it D for now.
Just for some weird reason, there's just a bunch of games with flat letter values, and all of a sudden, plus and minus.
Because that was one of the things I was thinking about too when you mentioned about reformatting a lot of the stuff. Is it going to be retroactive? And if so, oh god, if you want some help,
it will be retroactive when I get to it. If you could see, I've gone ahead and put backwards E's to various things.
This is a hobby, not a job.
Yes. Yes.
Just walking on low one day in the corner of the room. This is a hobby, not a job. It's a hobby, not a job.
History. Because I know ActRaiser gets brought up, it's definitely known.
Yeah, it's a fucking old ass God game.
Yeah, it is like one of the first God games. Also, one of the more well-known it is like one of the few games that people knew Enix from, other than say Dragon Warrior Quest, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, apparently it sold 620,000 copies worldwide.
Holy shit.
It doesn't help that, or it does help that it's kind of probably close to launch, and there wasn't that much out there.
Yeah, it was 1990.
I mean, this is easily an S or an A because it is an important part of gaming history.
Yeah, because it's definitely key part. Because I'm just saying, it's an important part of gaming history. Part of it. Well, let's just work from C, because it's C at the very bottom, because it has been released a lot in the last 20 years. I think this is on the SNES Classic. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
It was, at the very least, they did release a version of it.
It
on
definitely
the Virtual Console for the Wii.
I was gonna say it's at least on the Wii Virtual Console. I mean, I have mine. I'd have to plug it in, but I'm pretty certain that it's on the SNES Classic. Notable entry in a franchise or company lore. Square Enix kind of forgot that ActRaiser exists, so I don't know if that's quite accurate. Key part history of a genre or company. You say that, Axe, except Bear also specifically requested Siphon Filter.
Son of a bitch!
Part of me does want to say that it belongs as S, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm thinking it's either an S or it's a C.
I mean, for one thing, it was one of the first God games. Two, pretty much everybody knows it. 3, it's one of the more defining games of the entire Enix company. I mean, just based on those 3 criteria, that fits either S or A.
The question is,
I
does
don't feel like it
ActRaiser
was-
2 inherit that, or do we admit that it killed ActRaiser off?
ActRaiser 2 absolutely killed ActRaiser as a franchise.
Alright, just checking.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it was like a key
Well-
part of gaming history.
Now that I think, well, no, that's more something else. Because I was thinking, I'm like, God, I wonder how much of the overlap of. Because when did Level 5 get made? When did Level 5 the company? Yes.
The first game I remember Level 5 ever having made, I don't remember if it was Drawn to Life or if it was Professor Layton first.
Well, no, because I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
but older than that. That was
yeah.
98.
The
I'm sorry,
first-
88.
The first Level
98.
5 game was Dark Cloud.
Yes,
Yep.
a
'Cause I'm
personal
thinking-
favorite of mine.
Oh
Is
yeah, that's right.
Because I'm thinking,
Holy shit, how did I forget about that?
Because I'm thinking of like, how much did Dark Cloud get influenced by this game?
I wasn't sure if Dark Cloud was their first game or not, but I did know that they did that, and then somehow went on to make White Knight Chronicle.
Oh yeah, they had that Joan of Arc game for fucking PSP.
Also.
Oh, Dark Cloud 2 is Dark Chronicle. Alright.
Yeah.
I was lost.
Right. They're
So
the
It got renamed in the US.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, also,
Um,
because apparently Level 5 came out of River Hill Soft.
River what now?
River Hill Soft. It is a company that it seems like their most known games was
J.B. Harold?
JB Harold Murder Club, or at least a port of it, because also they're listed as Prince of Persia. Anyway,
They also were the publisher behind Ni no Kuni.
yeah,
And they also did Fantasy Life, which is important because the currency in Fantasy Life is Dosh. Also, it's a good game.
Yes, it was.
Wait, they did Overblood?
Let me make Dragon Cat.
I'm just gonna put S.
we go.
Okay, sure.
Or, you know what? Let's just split the difference. Let's just put.
I feel A is more fitting, but yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, if you go A, I'll totally be fine with that too.
I'll put A. Age, considering the fact that I'm just gonna go ahead and put D. Since I haven't had my scale fully built yet, I'm just gonna have a hunch and say it's gonna be a D or an E.
Yeah, it's not aged amazingly.
At least in one specific area, I could think.
I was gonna say the overall definitely is not aged. The side scrolling is also not aged.
Yeah.
I like the overworld though. I wonder. I don't know.
Approach, because it's either C or D. It most certainly doesn't go out of its way to help you.
No, like it introduces its mechanics, but like you were mentioning a whole lot of stuff that I honestly feel like you'd need a walkthrough and FAQ to properly understand.
Well, because there's a lot of like secrets that I was looking up. The thing is, you don't really need those to beat the game. Like they're plenty.
The manual for the game came with a map that told you where every item was, if I remember right. And in fact, it actually gave you a blurb. I don't know what it was about Enix, but at the time, the Super Nintendo manuals came with player's guides built in. Illusion of Gaia had a location, the location of every single red gem included with its manual, for example. And as I recall, from the scan that I looked up when I was looking for the can you defend or not in this game, the manual for ActRaiser had a description of every single area in the game.
That's actually a really good.
So when you include the manual, the approach becomes easier.
Yeah,
But
'cause
if you
that's-
take it away, then like if you were renting it and you
Then it
only
becomes
had the
easier
cartridge.
for the overworld segment.
Mm,
Because the thing is, I'm
The
thinking
side scrolling is still an asshole.
because even the overhead, I would give this overworld I'd see because it's not difficult. It's just I wouldn't even call it
Tedious.
obtuse.
No, there's just a lot of waiting.
Yeah, but the side-scrolling segments, North American version's easier. Which is going to be, let's face it, the version that most people play. Because I don't want to just say, oh well, every game is difficult. Because I mean, if they're old games, they tend to be difficult.
Mm.
The last area is kind of tricky, but the rest is easy enough to do that I don't think I would call it difficult.
I think a good litmus test for it would be exactly you had to change your name. Just had to be. Oh, okay. What Loco was saying about all the inserts and stuff. If you were to take all of that out, would you be able to simply beat the game and not have too much trouble?
I got this game pre-owned.
Okay. So if you could beat this game on this version without any of those inserts and without a guide, then I would say it's fairly
I'm pretty.
easy.
Now that I say that, I'm pretty sure I beat the game without a guide. I do remember looking up game facts for something like, oh, here's where some hidden thing is, but I don't think, like, I'm pretty sure I intuited a good enough majority of it.
Okay.
And yeah, even Rafferty's saying he beat the game without a guide.
Okay.
And
So we have like a base.
The manual doesn't have like the maps for the side-scrolling stages, so for those, it's all you. Anyway.
Also, Genjin is also saying it, so I am saying I feel that's probably a C.
All right. Well, just going off of that as like a base, right? So it's a fairly easy game all on its own. But like the levels themselves, like the side-scrolling levels, those are easy, and then that final area is just a teeny bit tricky.
Yeah, it is not notably difficult, except for one very key area, but like
the thing about the game is that even if you run out of lives, all it does is kick you out into the overworld, and then you have to try again from the start. That's the real only punishment the game has for you.
Like, as a point of comparison, East Book 1 and 2. There are some tricky bosses in East Book 1 and 2. The last boss is hard. The Bat boss in East 1 is hard. But I would not say that game overall is difficult.
Right.
Just certain segments. Like Zelda 2, as a whole, is hard. And I think just going forward, I think I'd probably use that as a litmus test. But yes.
Yeah, The Legend of Zelda 1. Those whiz roads alone.
Also, that gets the backwards E because, just to double check, there's 0 chance of completing this game without a guide.
The original Zelda.
Yes.
Hmm.
So yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that is going to do it for ActRaiser. And this episode. So thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
No, you.
Night.
If you would like to keep up to date with Retro Rank Rhapsody, you can follow me on Twitter at LoloThePuzzlo, or join my Discord server by going to the URL discord.ldp.life. Thank you for watching, and I hope you stop by again.